Did you ever look up at the sky on a pleasant afternoon and see those light, fluffy clouds?
They look just like floating cotton candy.
But here's the weird thing. The average cumulus cloud weighs over 1 million pounds.
Wait, what?
That's like a herd of 100 adult elephants flying directly overhead.
Looks like we're gonna need a bigger umbrella.
Now, the reason it all doesn't come crashing down and ruin your picnic is because that massive weight is spread out amongst trillions of microscopic droplets. But it's just one more example of how our ordinary world is often much stranger than it looks. And that's pretty much why we do this show. So if you're ready to uncover some of life's little mysteries, then you are in the right place. Welcome to the podcast that answers some of the questions you've always wondered about.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for joining us. We check our watches or keep an eye on the clock virtually every day. But have you always wondered, why are there 60 minutes in an hour? I mean, who decided to chop up time like this? Why not 100 or 50? Or hey, 8 slices worked out great for pizza, so why not clocks?
So, honey, how long will it be till we get there?
Just about 2 slices.
Well, for the answer, we look back about 4,000 years to the ancient Babylonians, who had a serious crush on the number 60.
Numerically speaking, 60 is a mathematical overachiever, divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, and 30, making it the Swiss Army knife of numbers.
Need to split something evenly? 60 just shrugs and says,
Meh, I got this.
So Babylonians loved the math. Then centuries later, astronomers borrowed their system, then ancient Greek scientists, then medieval scholars, eventually clocks showed up and basically said,
Yeah, I guess we're doing 60 now too.
Which means our system of time was built around a decision made by the same people who also believed that a sheep's liver was the best way to predict the future.
What?
Yeah, the Babylonians had a whole profession built around that. They'd sacrifice a sheep, then a trained priest would study the liver like an ancient magic 8-ball.
Should we go to war?
Reply hazy, try later.
Does that girl I met at the festival last week like me?
Very doubtful.
And should we divide an hour into 60 minutes?
It is decidedly so.
Now, we're not saying it actually went down that way, but the bottom line is this. Thousands of years ago, the Babylonians fell in love with a very flexible number. And the civilizations that followed looked at the number 60 and said,
Hey, works for me.
So tomorrow, when your alarm clock goes off and you think to yourself,
Oh, if I could only squeeze a few more minutes out of this hour.
you can blame the ancient Babylonians, who, for better or worse, were the ones that put the whole 60 minutes in an hour thing into motion. Perhaps after consulting the organ of a sheep.
The Always Wondered podcast.
As a society, we can't agree on anything.
The sky is blue.
What's your definition of sky?
Gravity exists.
Fake news.
Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Blasphemy.
And politicians learned a long time ago.
Hey, if they're arguing amongst themselves, then they'll leave us alone.
But there have been some times in our history when we did agree, and the ones in charge couldn't ignore us any longer. So have you always wondered, what was one of the strangest times we stood up and shouted,
We're as mad as HE double toothpicks, and we're not going to take it anymore.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Pardon my French.
No worries. We go back to 1943. The U.S. is smack in the middle of World War II. Civilians on the home front are being asked to make sacrifices. And when the powers that be said,
We're rationing gasoline.
we said,
No problem.
when they said,
Sugar is in short supply.
we said,
We can handle it.
when they said,
Nylon stockings will no longer be produced.
we said,
We understand.
but when they said,
You'll no longer be able to buy sliced bread.
the American public said,
What?
yeah. The government figured that if bakeries stopped slicing bread, they'd save on the wax paper used for wrapping it and reduce wear and tear on the slicing machines. But the public was having no part of it.
Are you telling me I now have to personally cut 27 slices every morning?
Americans had lost their collective loaf.
I haven't used a bread knife since the Hoover administration.
The complaints were immediate, loud, and widespread, and Washington took notice.
Gentlemen, it appears we're now fighting this war on two fronts. One overseas, and the other at the deli counter.
The citizens had drawn a line in the sand.
Yeah, although the line was kind of crooked, since we had to cut it ourselves.
Then, less than 2 months after the government instituted the ban, officials announced,
Yeah, remember that whole thing about no sliced bread? Let's just pretend it never happened, okay?
and sliced bread was back on the table. So, 1943 may have been the closest we've ever come to complete national unity. It was the moment in history when apparently everyone agreed on one simple American principle.
Don't mess with our sandwiches!
That glorious time when the greatest thing since sliced bread was, once again, sliced bread.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
You've seen it at home.
Hey, Mom, I did the dishes without being asked.
You've seen it at work.
Sure, boss. I'll be glad to come in on Saturday. Sunday, too, if you need me.
People trying to earn brownie points. But have you always wondered where the term brownie points came from? Well, for starters, it has nothing to do with baked chocolate dessert bars.
Where did you get that brownie?
Now, there are multiple theories out there, including business and military, but most linguists point to the young Girl Scout organization called the Brownies. Founded in the early 1900s, grade schoolers in the Brownies earned badges and recognition for learning skills and doing good deeds. They were basically tiny overachievers.
Here, ma'am. Let me return that shopping cart for you.
Why, thank you. You certainly are earning your brownie points today.
But here's where language takes a weird twist. A sincere phrase that started with children learning kindness and responsibility somehow wandered into the adult world and became shorthand for sucking up.
You mean like when my husband offers to unload the dishwasher just before asking to buy a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Or when Barb from accounting, who's bucking for a raise, offers to alphabetize the boss's snack drawer.
Exactly. Because sometimes language doesn't just change, it grows up and becomes a bit jaded along the way, just like brownie points are today. So for those little girls singing songs at senior centers, taking part in a clothing drive, or picking up litter at a local park, we hope you keep doing what you're doing. But for your coworker in the next cubicle who always laughs a little too loudly at the boss's bad jokes, we're on to you, buddy.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Well, that closes out another episode of Always Wondered. Remember, new episodes arrive every Friday, and we would love for you to hit that subscribe button. It's easy, and it's a lot less awkward than us showing up at your next family barbecue to remind you, okay?
Honey, who's that strange guy over by the potato salad?
I don't know, but he keeps asking everyone if they've always wondered stuff.
Don't make eye contact. I'm calling the HOA.
So yeah, hitting the subscribe button is probably the way to go. All right, as always, we leave you with one to ponder. Have you always wondered if a hot pocket gets cold, is it just a pocket? So until next time, stay curious and keep wondering. I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for listening.
The Always Wondered podcast.
If you like what you hear, please subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and a review. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to offer suggestions for future topics or simply reach out to alwayswonderedpodcast@gmail.com.